Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Ricardo Carreon, and I have the pleasure today of presenting the Latin America panel with NFT project founders talking us about their experience of, creating new projects in Latin America, this region that has been a little bit of you know, a hotspot nowadays for technology investment. So my name is Ricardo Carreon, and before presenting Fair here and Vanya, I'll do a little introduction of where we are in Latin America. Latin America is a region of, roughly two times the population of the United States. Extends from Mexico all the way to Tierra del Fuego in the south of Argentina and Chile. And it's a region that traditionally has been more of a consumer of technology and not necessarily, one of the fastest consumers of technology. I would say it's a bit of a laggard historically in terms of the technology consumption. However, that has been changing quite dramatically over the last few years. Uh, in the 2000s and the 2010s, Latin America had very few startups that could be considered as unicorns. However, in the last year, about 20 Latin American startups entered unicorn status. And most of them are tech based. Some are fintech, some are retail, some are doing e commerce or mobile commerce. So there's a big technology boom in Latin America. There's a lot of investment coming in from international venture capitalists into Latin America. So it's very, very exciting. It's very exciting time for all of us to be here. And, I want to introduce here Vanya and Duhart, and I will ask him, each of them, to talk to us about their story, introduce themselves and introduce their project. Vanya, please go ahead.
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, my name is Vanya. I am Peruvian. I moved to New York 4 years ago for college and I graduated last year. And I decided to start this project. I think we started in November of last year. Our project is called BonBunniesNFT. They are 5,555 bunnies. We have over 650 unique traits, which is really cool. Our team is I'm the co founder, my sister is the other co founder. My sister's wife is the artist. She's a tattoo artist as well. And then my boyfriend's the dev. So it's a very family oriented team, which is pretty cool. And the story behind our bunnies is that they escaped a cosmetic testing lab, and now that they're free, they're just a celebration of resistance, representation, and authenticity. We wanted to do a woman-led profile picture collection that kind of stepped away from the stereotypes that we see nowadays, where all these women-led projects are just like beautiful women portraits. We wanted to do something more inclusive to the community and just not something that represents us as the team, as just like women, Latinas, and just people. And yeah, we started this project mainly because we were noticing how Web3 was moving at such a fast pace. And it was really hard for people of different communities to keep up with all the nuances involved in investing, creating, and developing in the space. Therefore, we are trying to promote transparency in Web3 and make the space more accessible to communities of all backgrounds. Right now, we're partnering with Learn.io, which is a platform that is trying to validate education on the blockchain with NTTs, which are non-transferable tokens. And we're going to be incorporating those non-transferable tokens into our DAO. So our DAO is called the Carrot DAO, that will focus on investing in cryptocurrencies and NFT projects that represent the values of environmental, social good, diversity, and inclusion. And that's a little bit about what we're doing business-wise, but fun-wise, we also have really cool utilities. As mentioned, our artist is a tattoo artist, so some of our utilities will include free tattoos or discounted flash tattoos. We're also partnering with one of our friends in Peru who has a clothing brand called NIM, which is 100% circular. She focuses on upcycling and all that. So we're doing merch with them. And then, as mentioned, with Learn.io, we are trying to promote education in the space by having weekly spaces on different topics. And just also, once we get more followers and we start gaining traction, we're going to release a community newsletter, and we're going to start showcasing underrepresented people who are making moves in Web3 to give them the recognition they deserve. So that's a little bit about what we're doing.
All right. So it seems like your project has, kind of like the Latin American, imagery. You also have good storytelling, and you also have, this women touch. So seems to be a very, very exciting thing that you're launching, Vanya. And you started with the community for BonBunnies. How long ago, and how many people do you have in the community right now?
Yeah, so we started tweeting in mid-January, and right now we are at 2,000 followers. It is hard to like manage a day job and do like an NFT project. I feel like if I had full time, oh, the things I would do would be amazing. But just like with the balance and like with a small team, I think we're just trying to build a good community. And our Discord has like 450 members. But yeah, right now we're primarily focusing on Twitter since we haven't launched yet.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you, Vanya. So, Fer, tell us a little bit about your project and a little bit about yourself first.
Sure. So, hey, I'm Fer. My background is totally in digital marketing. I have 8+ years in digital marketing. I'm a true Web3 believer. I believe in this space really taking off, especially for Latin America. The momentum is just starting here. I'm based in Mexico City, and well, let me tell you something about the project here. The project's name is Awkward Skeleton Club, and this is mainly, the name is this because we were all awkward kids maybe once, or we were teenagers and we were awkward in some ways. So the idea is to take that awkwardness and actually make it what makes us unique. Even people like, I don't know, Elon Musk, or maybe also and other, I don't know, Steve Jobs and so on, have been called awkward by many people. And actually, we believe that's something special that makes us really drive forward. It's a 7,373 PFP collection. We will be minting on Polygon. This is mainly because, and I'm sure we'll talk of this later, but this is mainly because in Latin America, there's a different vision of Polygon, and there's a real concern behind gas fees for Ethereum, for example. And we have 3 main objectives, which amount to a single goal. And those objectives is to create a community mainly based on Latin America, as you said, from Mexico all the way down to Chile and Argentina. But we're also expanding and trying to build a better community, including U.S. Hispanics, Canadian Hispanics. We believe the Hispanic community is bigger than anything in the world. I mean, we're everywhere. You might even know a lot of us, even in Canada and so on. So we believe in building that community. We believe in amplifying the message and onboarding also people in the space. This part about amplifying, we believe in making events where we'll also be creating a podcast to onboard all the newcomers coming to the space. But because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and all of the cool and really documented information is actually in English. So we're making everything in Spanish. We have to be more inclusive in that way, and that's what we're doing. We're also building, and this is alpha because we haven't showed our roadmap yet, but we're building an LMS platform that's also partnering with Learneo, as Vanya said, that there's also a partner of ours. And how this is going to work is we're building the LMS system. We're including courses in Spanish, talking of all the different like satellite themes of Web3. You know, the marketing side, the design, the development, all these things around Web3, and we are trying to teach them to the Latin American community, to Spanish-speaking people, and also giving them an entity at the end, a certification for it to leave in their wallet, and they have, well, they'll have like this diploma that they're now ready for anything towards the Web3 space.
That's very exciting, and one of the things that you mentioned here is the Spanish speaking community on Web3, right? And one of the things to notice is just how much it has grown. So a lot of people like you, probably, Fer, and you, Vanya, you entered some of the spaces in Twitter in English for a long time, and nowadays there's like spaces for NFT in Spanish like every day, pretty much morning and night. So it's pretty amazing. And we have some celebrities like Thalia, which is a Mexican singer that is well known internationally. That has become like very, very excited with NFTs. She is using one Clone X as her avatar, and now she has spaces like 3 times a week. So, and then she's driving it herself. So there's momentum building on the Spanish speaking community, and that's great because we have definitely different aesthetics from other regions. We have different storytelling, and we have a very different way of engaging with the community, right? I mean, all of us are very, very much community driven in terms of making amigos and keeping those friends online and offline, right? So, Vanya, tell me a little bit. What is it that your project wants to achieve in the bigger picture? What is the purpose, and what do you think, if successful, your project will make a difference in the Web3 space, in both in Latin America as well as in the United States?
For sure. So part of what we're doing with our DAO, we're, as an investment DAO, our end goal is to partner with a lawyer and try to figure out the legal aspect of investing in underrepresented artists and entrepreneurs in the space, because we want to be the financial and marketing backbones for projects that are just starting and that don't have the resources that you need sometimes to mint a project. Like my sister, her wife, and I, we wanted to start this project, but minting a project like itself already costs a lot of money, right? And we were lucky enough to have my boyfriend and his brother to be the investors in like believing in us and like giving us all the resources we need. And we want to be able to do that in the larger picture for other projects. And also we wanted to create a system where the BonBunnies are considered to hold intrinsic value as well, and not just speculative flip value. And we're going to achieve this by giving users who stake their NFTs, they're going to be rewarded with an airdrop of Carrot. And we are just trying to create a community where new people can enter a DAO. And our DAO is going to have a bill of rights to make sure that we are investing in projects with values that we believe in, which are environmental, social good, diversity, and inclusion. Because we have the thesis that that if you invest in ESG D&I, you can make profitable returns, because these factors impact the way that the next generation of blockchain protocols operate. And that's pretty much what we're doing. And we also wanted to definitely include the aspect of education along the way, which is why we are partnering with Learnio. I thought it was Learn.io, but it's Learnio. And we're partnering with them to provide NTTs to our holders to validate their education and the steps they're taking in our DAO. And I think mainly like my goal with this project is to just make the space more accessible, because as like a woman and as someone who just graduated college last year and like just a newcomer into the space, it can be quite scary. And like just the word DAO is so loaded, and like there's so many aspects involved in it, which is why we want to create a DAO which is pretty transparent. We're writing a light paper, which is like a digestible version of the white paper, so that newcomers can just be part of our democracy and just take part in Web3, which is pretty much the future. And we just want to give everyone the opportunity to hop on that train.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Probably DAO, it's a little bit scary for a lot of people. Actually, for a lot of people in Latin America, setting up a wallet is scary. So,
Exactly.
But I think that at the end of the day, what you will achieve is to finance underrepresented artists, correct? I mean, yeah, and I can understand that people from Peru or from most of Latin America are really underrepresented in the NFT space, and so what you're trying to achieve is fantastic.
Thank you.
Fair, can you tell us about what you're trying to achieve with the skeletons? And I see the skeletons on your back. It's great art. It's very, very fun art.
They're like my babies.
Yeah.
I have them everywhere. Yeah, so we're trying to achieve getting more people into the space, but not only getting them into the space, but getting them really informed and really having the information they need to have. Because when I was a newcomer into the space, I made a lot of mistakes. So if we can take that experience and really give it some structure and actually teach it to those newcomers, it'll be easier for them to get into the space and start creating or buying or investing or doing whatever they want. So that's one of them. The other thing we are trying to do is to broaden the community by making this podcast and by making events in Latin America about the space. And yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. Teach, amplify, and build a community.
I think that's a really, really important angle that you're talking about, Fer. Actually, I have a project and my project hasn't launched, but my project is called Deep U, as in deep, as in immersive, and U as in university. DEEPU.io, and it's it's an educational project, and because one of the things that I think that is very relevant in Latin America is the onboarding of people. So, how are we going to teach people that, wanna buy an NFT, but they don't they don't know how to set up a wallet, or they want to create their own NFTs, but and they are probably amazing artists, but they don't know that how to go about Discord, or setting a Discord server is scary, or just going into spaces on Microsoft on Twitter is also scary. So I think that onboarding is really, really key for us. We have hundreds of millions of people in Latin America, and thanks to a cell phone, most of them are connected today. So how we're gonna do to make them really come to Web3, really come and participate in these communities, because this is going to be key even for them to have a work in the future, because a lot of the works that are going to be created in the future are going to come from Web3 projects. So it's really, really important that that we participate on that.
Sure.
So tell me a little bit.
I just wanted to add something.
Yes,
quickly,
go ahead,
Ricardo, if that's okay with you. So I just wanted to give a little bit of context, because when I entered the space, you have all these Twitter spaces in English and all these famous shows, the On-Chain Radio, the Oh Shiny Show, the Rug Radio. And I noticed that the moment or momentum that the US and the Canadian market have right now is so different from the Latin American market. In Latin America, we're still, as you said, in the step where people don't know how to set up their wallet, don't know how to fund their wallet. The banking system in Latin America, especially in Mexico, is a little bit underdeveloped. So yeah, we have to take a different approach when talking to these new communities. And I just wanted to give that context, because maybe people are thinking like, how is it that these projects are just thinking about teaching about teaching so basic stuff, no? And that's because the market is right there, and the belief in Latin America is once we get that that knowledge inside our heads, and once the community is big enough, we'll definitely get onto that the momentum or the moment that the US and the Canadian market are living right now. And once we are ready, I mean, we'll get there like really soon.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that the interest in Latin America is growing dramatically, and I think that a lot of people are going to educate themselves, and with initiatives like yours, Fair, like yours, Vanya, and some others that are over there, I think that people are going to be setting up their wallets, and they're going to be comfortable with crypto and with owning NFTs. So I think this is very exciting times, but we definitely need to be aware that we will need to educate a lot before we get into, let's say, a booming market, right? Education is going to be key for the growth of Latin America to take place. So other thing that I want to get from you, this is a little bit more of a general question, Vanya, is, with Web3 and with DAOs and all of those things that you're working on, very exciting things, if those things become more generalized in Peru or in Latin America, what do you think the effect would be on the society, right?
I mean, I think it would be a great effect considering what is happening in Peru right now with the economy and politics. I feel that just financial autonomy and decentralization is a must from all angles. I think that it'll give people the chance to finally just like be autonomous with their own finances. And the whole DAO concept, I really liked the DAO concept because, sorry, someone walked in. Fer, do you want to go while I change locations?
Yeah, go ahead, Fer. Well, Vanya.
Sorry.
Don't
Sure.
worry, Vanya. And
No worries.
go ahead, Fer, please.
So yeah, I think the idea for Latin American markets, the idea of having the blockchain disrupt the whole scene is incredible. I mean, as a Latin American, I'm really excited for the future. But I believe the real roadblock here will be the governments, no, because there are a lot of interests there. So yeah, I think that's where we come in, and we have to like push this all the way till it really comes a mainstream and then really adopted by governments. So we've already seen governments in Latin America take the blockchain and implement it. So it's just a matter of taking that use case, that success case, and bring it all over to the other countries.
Yeah, and I think that there's a paradigm shift here. When I was when I was running Intel for Mexico and Latin America back in 2004, 2005, there was this big paradigm of getting factories into the region. So, the governments were trying to attract multinationals to build mega factories in all of Latin America. They still do. They still want to get the next, auto manufacturer or the next electronics manufacturer because that brings jobs, right? And so in and of itself, that could be kind of like the made in Mexico or made in Latin America paradigm. The seal that the products that are done in the country have. But I think that we need to move into a paradigm into which we are trying to create in Latin America, and where we're trying to be the creators, where we're trying to engineer things, not just provide cheap labor, but also, provide our minds and our hearts to build, the next generation jobs. So I think it's really, really, really important that we do that. And, I think that Vanya, this, the concept of DAO is very interesting in the sense that one of the things that has historically been a problem in Latin America and that has slowed down growth is the lack of financing. So, we see in Canada and in the United States that there's venture capital and there's capital for people that have ideas. And sometimes, the thing is, how do you match the capital with the talent, right? And in Latin America, that was not the case in the past. As I said, it's changing because now we have, about 20 unicorns the last year. And that means that, there's capital flowing into the region, but we need more capital. It's not just kind of like, the big unicorns in Latin America that are being born this year. It's also, that little artist that has a great idea for an NFT project. And we need to also finance those ideas, and we need to finance them. So, I would like to have your comments on where do you see the future of this fair, and for somebody that wants to participate in, if it is somebody that is looking at this in Canada and the United States or from Latin America, what do they need to do?
Okay, so yeah, I see an exciting future. I'm personally excited. From the Latin American standpoint, I see people have genuine interest in doing things and learning things. I've never seen like this interest of doing such, I don't know, a cool rug or maybe just a meme NFT. I mean, people are serious in the space, especially in Latin America. There's a lot of creativity and a lot of really good ideas, and that makes me excited for the future. And I don't know. I mean, there's Latin American people. We've always had a lot of hope for things, and this is not the exception.
Yeah, I agree with you, and in some metrics, Mexico and countries like Colombia, Peru, we are graduating a lot of engineers and programmers, and in some metrics even more than the United States. So the talent is there, and we just need to give that talent an environment to flourish. What do you think about that, Vanya? What do you think about the future? What is the future for Latin America on this?
I mean, what I like about Web3 personally is that there's a space for anyone, whether you're an artist, a marketer, a coder, a developer, like just an entrepreneur. There's like a place for you. And I do think that this will grant more jobs in the future. I hope so. But I definitely feel, as Fer was saying, that people are motivated to learn more, especially with like a lot going on in those countries. People want to get out of that like hole and just like try to build something bigger. I think that's definitely what my sister and her wife, like they moved out of Peru because I don't know, there's just so many limitations, and that like sometimes the government doesn't play in your favor. And just like this whole concept of Web3 and decentralization and just the chance to be autonomous and just join a space where what I've experienced is a space that is like more free of judgment than Web 2. Like social media wise on Web 2 can be a little like yikes, but then when you join it in a Web3 perspective, like if you're on Twitter Spaces and like everyone's just talking and like just learning about their passions and missions without like seeing necessarily their faces or their photos, I think that's a great thing to do. But I think like the best part about it is that there's a space for everyone and that everyone can thrive within it as long as you're just like willing to make it, because it's a journey, and I think there is room for everyone. You just have to be willing to put in the effort and just read and learn and consistently just evolve, because it changes every day. I learn something new every day, even though I'm like building this project. We have to like always shift our mindset and like shift where we're leading this project because of the constant innovations. But I think that's the beauty of it, right? Because first of all, we're like early enough to shape where this space is going. Like we have a say, like as a woman Latina, I can be the voice to like onboard other women Latinas in the space and make them feel comfortable. And that is something I didn't get the chance to do in Web 2, and not many women Latinas got the chance to do in Web 2. And I think that's why Web 3 is fascinating, and I love it.
Yeah, let's hope that many other, women Latinas can join BonBunnies and some of the other communities and make themselves heard. I mean, I know this is a concern for all the world in terms of having more women representation on Web3, but definitely in Latin America, it is an issue. So, it's great to see projects like yours, being successful, Vanya. You're about to mint, is the stage that you're in right now?
Yeah, so because our NFT, like our mint is just the first stage of so many other things that we're building, we want to make sure that those other stages are perfectly set and planned out before we launch. So I think we're planning to launch around in a month and a half. But yeah, as of now, we're just organically growing community and just like making the project better for both the people involved and the future holders. So yeah.
Can you tell us the name of where they can find more information? Is it the website? Is it a Twitter?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you can find the most information on our Twitter, which is like our handle is BonBunnies, BON Bunnies NFT. That's where we have the most information. There you can find our link tree, our Discord link, and yeah, I'm always the one on Twitter Spaces. So if you ever see us on Twitter Spaces, feel free to hop in and we can chat.
All right. Fair, can you give us some final comments, please?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, if you want to check it out, check out the project. The site is awkwardskeleton.com. Our handle in Twitter is skeletonawkward because the other one was taken. Yeah, I'm the one also joining the spaces. I'm the one I created, I draw, I'm a marketing team. I'm a one-man show here. I mean, I now have a developer and a partner, but I basically I'm everywhere. And also I host spaces with two other Latin projects in Spanish every Thursday at 6 p.m. So if you guys want to be there, I'm more than happy to host you.
Yeah, and your handle on Twitter is Duhart, right? I mean,
yeah,
just
as my name is right there on the screen, just add the at symbol at the beginning.
Yeah, so they can add you. Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. So they can add you and they can find all the information and probably find the invitations to your your
Sure, and the
spaces,
DMs
right?
are open, so I'm always happy to chat and happy to help.
All right.
Same
Yeah.
here.
And yeah, my name is Ricardo Carreon. I am also at Ricardo Carreon. So what you're seeing on the screen, at Ricardo Carreon on Twitter. And from there, you can go into my Linktree, my Discord, and also my LinkedIn. And I'm trying to publish a lot on LinkedIn because we're trying to put a little bit more of the business side of the story on LinkedIn, and probably a little bit more detailed information than on Twitter. But, you know, very excited to have you both here. Very excited to have you on NFTCon. Thank you so much, Fer. Thank you, Vanya. I know you were rushing out of the gym, but it's very exciting. Your story is very exciting, and it's great to have you tell us that story here. Thank you very much.
Thank
you
you
so much for having us.